All right, guys. Good evening. Good evening. How are you today? Welcome to our caricature live stream. We're going to be getting into it here in just a minute. Just let me get my conversation out here for TikTok, and then we'll just delete this, and then we'll stay over here. Okay, so what we're going to do first here, today we're going to be going over why your head shapes, or why we're going to say why your caricatures don't look like the person. Okay, awesome, awesome. Okay, so this is what we're going to do with that. We're going to talk about a few different things as I'm drawing, and to try to help you guys with your caricatures not looking like the person. Okay, so what I did here, I'm just warming up with this head shape right here. So I actually discovered this last night, which is pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and just add the hair onto the side of this shape here. Right, because this is the guy we're drawing right here. Right, we just kind of made his head a little bit wider. Right, and then we're going to just do something real simple here. We're going to do this, and then this is what we'll do here. I'll give him a little bit of an expression, even though he doesn't have it in the picture. And then this is what I'll do. Boom, and I'll go right here and come around, and then this one, I'm gonna go around. I'm gonna come up, down, and then do it like this. So that way, we can just put his little eyes in there like this, right? Right? Just follow along. Put the nose shape in here. Uh, okay. And then we're going to put our mouth shape. We might need to make it a little bit smaller, but boom. Okay. And then you got your things in between here. And of course, we got this little circle right here and some little hairs on top. Okay, so this is like a little funny cartoon of my guy right here, right? And we're going to do a couple of these today and talk about again why your caricatures don't look like them. Okay, so most of the time, what happens, I think, when the first thing that happens the reason that your pictures don't look like the person is because what happens is you're drawing, features instead of relationships. Okay. So what relationships are we talking about? Well, relationships are pretty much how far things go from each other. You get what I'm saying? So, for instance, the nose is this particular relationship away, not an exact relationship. Hey, what's going on, gaming with Jay? How are you today? Welcome to the stream this morning. Okay, but as I was saying, most of the time it's going to be that the relationships are going to be off. Okay, when your relationships are off, what happens is no matter how good you are at drawing, you still lose the likeness of the person. So it really doesn't. This kind of art form doesn't really depend on how well you see things analytically, almost like. But it really depends on how much. Hey, what's going on, Jeremiah? How are you? It really just depends on how you see things as a person, and that's something that I think. Hey, what's going on, Val? How are you today? I think that that's something that really can't just be learned. You have to be well. It can be learned, but it's really through a lot of self-discipline and observation. Okay, so that's the first thing. Paying attention to relationships. So if this is a circle, a relationship, the relationship is between these circles, right? We're just going to put the word relationship, right? And in between here, this line represents a relationship between these two shapes. So if these were two eyes, for instance, the relationship between them would be far apart. Does that make sense? So this is what usually gets off. What's the relationship between the nose? Well, the nose is generally a shape, right? So let's just say we use this shape here, okay? So now we got a nose. So now this line becomes the relationship between the eyes and the nose shape. You understand? Now, if we have a mouth, right? If we look at this mouth, let's say we put this mouth here. Now, what we're doing is we're looking at now the relationship here becomes this and this and this, right? All of these things have energies or flows between them. So I kind of just look for the biggest relationship, the big relationship. Most of the time, it's going to either be between the eyes and the mouth, and then I do one between the eyes and the nose. You get what I'm saying? But I think about those relationships because they are very important. Okay, so the likeness comes from how well these things relate to one another, and distance, angles, and proportion. Distance, angle, and proportion are going to be your best friend. So not only is distance, like we indicated here, important, but the angle at which you draw that feature and also the proportions. Okay, in other words, this eye might be smaller than this eye. You see, this is an eye and that's an eye. So this represents a relationship. How does this shape relate to that shape, right? So when you draw if you're the type of caricaturist that draws your features all at, how can I put it? You almost look at them as separate things and you're trying to put them all together in the picture and you're not looking for the harmony of them, then you're going to miss the mark every time, okay? I am doing well. I'm doing well. Thank you so much for asking, Val. Oh, by the way, guys, good morning. My name is Harry. If you guys have never been to my stream before, we've been doing this stream for probably about 12, I'd say 10 years, 10 years. And we do these live streams every Tuesdays and Saturday. So today these are lessons designed so that I can learn as well because I'm while teaching, and then obviously that you can learn. Okay, so I'm trying to help those out there that really can't afford a formal education with caricature, but you really want to learn to do this, or you want to do it on the side or whatever, and you didn't know how you can get in. Well, we just opened the door for you to be able to break into this art form. Okay, so now the next thing, what we're going to do now is we're going to go through a couple of faces. Okay, and we'll talk about these things, these relationships as we go through our pictures. Okay, if you guys have a question or a comment, please keep it PG. Thank you very much. And other than that, let's dive in. Okay, all right. So let's go ahead, and I got plenty of faces here. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to start with this face right here because we want a variety of different faces. So now. Relationship. Okay, what I'm going to do here is I like to look for. Let's say I'm doing my features first. Okay, so let's say we do this. I'm going to draw my eyebrows, right? And when I draw the eyebrows, what I want to do is I always want to indicate. This is the number one thing. I want to indicate an emotion with my eyebrows. Okay, your eyebrows are, indifference, anger, sadness, or happiness, or something needs to be indicated because those cartoons where they just stare at the camera like this, they kind of, I guess you'd still get paid for them, but they're so boring to draw because your caricatures doesn't say anything. It's just a guy sitting there going, right, and he's not really interacting with in his picture. So these are important to show emotion with this. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to drop down and I'm going to look at the relationship between the eyes. Like, in other words, if there were layers, right, where would I want things to go? Okay, so what I would do here is I would go to my eye. I'll follow the line. Okay, and then I'll go to this eye. And I'll follow the line. Okay. Okay. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is look at the relationship between the eyes and the nose. Okay, if you need to, put a little mark underneath the nose or whatever you need to do. Okay, so then what we'll do here is we'll do this shape here. And this is going to be our nose shape. Okay, so you guys draw along with me. If I'm drawing too quickly, let me know, guys. I'll try to slow down just a minute for you. Hold on, let me also go to here. Okay, now the next relationship we're going to look for is the relationship between the nose and the mouth. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. All right. We're also looking for distant. We're also looking for how wide it is, how tall it is, how big it is. All of these things need to be considered when you put them down, okay? So what I'm going to do here, right, I'm going to do boom, okay, like that, right? Okay, just like so. And then I'm going to do this. Okay. We don't have to have all the bells and whistles in, but we're going to get all the basic shapes. Okay? You see how you want to practice? You want to practice with those basic shapes. Okay? Now that we have all of our inner features, okay? Hey, hey, thank you. How we doing today? Is that Scooby? Skull Joby? How are you? Yeah, okay. Now, this is what we're going to do next. We're going to decide what our head shape is, okay? So what I generally do is I use the features to help me to place my head shape. So I'll look at the relationship between the chin and the mouth. So now I'm down here. You understand? Okay. Hey, Sophia, how are you today? How's everybody doing? Also, guys, don't forget to I know I'm not on TikTok. Thank you for guys for coming out. Um, I'm not using TikTok Studio and I'm not using my phone. So when you use TikTok and you only use it through CapCut, it takes out all the bells and whistles and your goals and all that right there. So I put a goal up there. If you guys want to donate or a tip because you guys feel like the lesson was cool, I would really appreciate it. But I don't have like I said, I don't have the thing to do all the bells and whistles with you. So you guys can check that out. Let me see here. Something else is missing here. Where is it? This is what I need. Hold on. No, that's not it. Hold on 1 sec, folks. The Spanish word book. Hold on, guys. Oh, I know where it's at. I'm tripping. Why am I looking for this? I put it where it belongs. That's why I can't find it. Okay. All right. So, guys, let's go ahead and get back into. Let me see. I need to move this over some. Okay, there we go. And then let me move this over. Okay, there we go. All right, now, so we got our chin shape. Now we're going to go to our cheek shapes, okay? So pretty much what's going on here is this, okay? I usually do I'm going to show you this little, okay? Okay? So this is how the shape of the head's going to go. Here, right? Here, right? Like, watch. And then once we go around, we'll come down and in like this. And then we'll go out and down and out and down. Up here, we can add the hairline, right? One. And he has like a round headline, right? So you just want to keep it real simple. This is just one of many ways that this guy can be drawn, right? But what we're trying to do is we're trying to let you see that it's not impossible to do this if you pay attention to the relationships, okay? So this is one version of him, okay? Put his little neck right here. And there you have it, right? Now the other way we can do this is to take the paper, right? And that we, don't forget guys, to share the live, share the live. Thank you very much, guys. Now the other way we can do this is by attacking the head shape first, which is how I always have beginners do, because proportions are going to be kind of difficult at first to get, but once you get the hang of it, you'll be okay. And so what I like to do with that is I like to, let's say we draw the head shape. I'm just going to show you. We're going to draw this. This is like a little shape or hat shape that he has on. And then we're going to go around and then we'll do this. This might be an easier way. Now watch, this is the top, right? Now once we do this, okay, then we drop down a little bit. Okay, this is the line that we put there, and then from that line, we come around and we go into the chin shape. Okay, now this one is going to be a little bit more, this is easier. This is the way that I personally do caricatures when I go to work, because I'm drawing for speed. So I need to be able to tell how much space a head is going to take up before I start drawing on the paper, especially if I have a family of 4 or 5 or 9. You know what I'm saying? So, sometimes I've drawn people with 9, 10 people in one picture. So you don't really want to mess around with your spacing, because then you get what I call the pictures running off the page almost kind of thing, right? Got some eyebrows here. Now we're going to go back to the boom, boom, right? And we're looking at the relationship. What I generally do with the eyes is I just copy the eyebrows. So whatever the eyebrow is doing here on this bottom line, I make this line copy that. The whole eye literally copies the eyebrows. Okay. So that's another thing you need to know. So this is here. This is the eyebrow, right? And then you got your eyes going in here like this. Okay. Then you got your nose here, right? We keep it simple. We should have very simple shapes in there. Okay. Boom and boom. And then we'll go ahead and we'll put our mouth shape. Okay, so we can do this right here. Watch. All right, and then we'll do like this. Okay. Okay, just like so. And then you have your neck shape here. Okay. So this is a way, you see how this one to me came out a lot more, obviously because I'm warmed up now, but this one came out a lot. The likeness is really striking for this one, and it's because I'm warmed up. That's all it is. Okay, motion. Sorry, just got here. WIM, the eyes copy the eyebrows. Yes, exactly. Yes, the eyes always are going to copy the eyebrows. That's how I don't draw specific shapes of eyes. I just draw whatever the eyebrow is doing. So, for instance, if I drew him with the same head, let me move him. Let me just get another character for you. Okay, so this is just one we did. So we can switch around. All right. I like drawing different ones. So let's just say I want to do this lady right here. Okay, so what I do again, the first thing is I want to find out what head shape kinda I want to use first. Okay, so what I would do here is this. I'll do this as my hat. This is my little hat that she has on. She has a little, and then this is going down the other side of the hat, but I can see behind this. Okay, so this is my little hat. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come from behind it, and I'm gonna come around, and I'm gonna make sure that I keep a lot of roundness in the face. You get what I'm saying? And then here you'll see this is where the ear shape goes. Okay, now I'm gonna get to the eyebrow thing in a minute. I'm just doing the whole head. All right, then once we get there, then we come here, right? And the head, the hair just kind of wraps around the head. Okay, you can see this is coming out here. Maybe she has a little earring here. So we can just put that in there like so. Okay. Hey, thank you. I appreciate you. Ooh, I can't say that name. Okay. But I'm just calling you, what's up, B? Okay. Now, hold on. I'm going to get to it in a minute. Okay, so let's just say this is the head shape. Okay, so we got the whole head shape in there. Oh, we forgot to go around here. Sorry. Okay, now we got our eyebrows. So let's just say that's not part of the eyebrow, but that was part of her head shape. All right, so let me show you this. Let's say her eyebrows are doing like this and like this. Okay, you see the eyebrow shape, right? Look, I'm just gonna bring it like I want it, just to make it simple. Now watch my eye shape. The bottom line just needs to mirror what's in the picture or whatever type of motion you want to do. All the lines on the top of the eye are always going to mirror the lines of the eyebrow. When you start, so this way you don't have to look for those shapes. You already understand what they are. You can't miss if you do it that way. And there's no guessing. So now you just have to see how it, you know what I'm saying? So here, right, we got this, right? Okay, now we got this nose shape, right? And then we got a mouth shape, right? Now we can do something like this. Right? And this will be her lips, right? You see? But you see here, this shape always mirrors the shape of the eyes. Okay, so the always is going to look good when you do it that way. Okay? And we'll do a couple of more for you just to show you that this is not a trick. Whatever you want to do, let's look at this guy. I'm not going to even draw his whole head. Watch this. This is his expression. Look, expression. Now watch the eyes. I don't care what shape I draw, as long as I follow this. Watch. See, they look like virtually like I followed the line underneath here and here on the top. Now watch when I do this. And now watch. You see this, and what you're going to look at this because it seems contrary to this. You're going to try to draw that when you're drawing a picture. You're going to be like, and you think, but believe it or not, if you really could see, your eyebrows and your eyes are connected all to the same muscle. So even though the movement is not readily apparent at this angle that he's turning his head, his eye has literally made all of these movements, but they're so minute in real life that you can't see them. You understand what I mean? Okay. So that's why it's important not to rely so much on what you're looking at when you're drawing. Okay, look, if you want to put this part over the eye, just do this again. Look, it looks like it defies logic once again, but it does not. It still looks like the guy in a car. You see what I'm saying? See the likeness there? It's really easy to get that. Okay. So even when you're drawing if you're a live portrait artist, you like to draw a regular portrait. That's how I started. I drew portraits before I started doing this. I was a live artist, so I drew everything as it was, and this helped me to better in that because I didn't understand that when I was drawing that. So a lot of times my drawings would come out flat because as a caricaturist, you know, and if you really are serious about your craft, you'll learn to see those little micro movements of the face. You know what I mean? Before they get there, right? You know what I'm saying? This is his chin, and then we'll come down here. You see? That's the guy right there. right? I can do it, and if I do this, your exaggeration power becomes greater, because if I go down here, right, with this guy, and I say, what if I wanted to do this to his face? What if I wanted to do this? Hold on. What if I wanted to smash everything kind of together? Well, then I could just use the eyebrow. Watch. I could use the eyebrow and do this. Watch. Because all I need is the top of the bottom, the top of the eyebrow. The bottom of the eyebrow is all I need. So watch this. I don't even have to use a line. I could just do like this. I still didn't lose the likeness. Look at his mustache. I can't miss with this. So just work off the eyebrow shape. And then if you want a bigger exaggeration, combine them. These work good for, like, if you're doing people that have big glasses. Like, were you ever seen those people where they got glasses on, but it looked like they got Coke bottles so you can see through their glasses? So if you're doing this, let's say this is an expression, okay? Well, if I'm doing like this, right now I've connected it directly to the eyebrow. So if he has on glasses, right, like this, his eyes tend to look bigger once I put the reflections in the glasses. You get what I'm saying? So it all depends on what you're trying to do. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys, don't forget, tips are appreciated. If you guys feel like you're benefiting from the stream, tips are awesome. You can tip through Cash App, $Rowserworld. Thank you so much, guys. Also, guys, I do one-on-one classes. If you want to take a class with me, you can join you can take a class with me at Rowserworld.com/classes. Go to our website. You can book a one-on-one class with me, and then I will teach you. It'll be a live thing where I get to know you, you get to know me, and then we get to take the things that you know about life and all that. Then we're going to incorporate all that in the drawing, and then we're going to package you up and put you out there and start getting you to draw caricatures. You'll make some good money while you're at it. You know what I mean? So if you guys want to really learn about this on a deeper level, get in touch with me. I'll take care of you. Also, guys, don't forget to support us on Patreon. This is our fan support page. Also, all the concepts and ideas that you see here, I do have in-depth videos about these on Patreon. So if you want to check those out, you go over there, you become a member. We do have a member. We actually have a new tier that we just started, and that tier is for mini courses. So on that tier, you'll see it's called the mini course tier or mini courses. And when you go in there, these are specially dedicated 3 to 4 minute lessons per course. 3 to 4 minute videos per course. It's usually about 4 videos in each course. And it's going to be a very specific lesson that I guarantee you'll leave with an understanding of what you just did. So go over there and check that out as well. Okay, again, tips are appreciated, guys. Thank you so much for tipping. All right, so let's go back to our lesson here today. Are you guys learning anything today? Is this helping everybody out here today? Is this helping anybody out today? All right, let's go to our next picture. So we're just going to kind of just keep drawing some pictures together and talk about those. Talk about the relationships here. Okay, let me see here. Let's go here. Okay. So anyway, like I said, it's not about the eye. It's not about the eyes. It's really where the eyes sit and how you position them. So you still have to know where to put them and all that kind of stuff. But drawing the eye really isn't that hard unless you're focusing on the wrong thing. Okay, let's go to this face here. Okay, now let's go with her face here. Let's see. Okay. So for this face, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to use this shape here. Okay. And then I'm going to wrap some hair around this shape. Something like this. Okay. And you see that's the top part of the head before we get here to this shape here. Okay. And then we'll add our earring shape here. Paying attention again to that relationship. I like to use the the articles of the face, maybe earrings and things like that, to tell me where things go. So I'm constantly looking for relationships. Okay. All right. So here we'll just bring this down here, and then we'll just bring another one down here. This is a bigger one, and then we'll just go here and bring this down and around and up, right? So you always want to use, see how I use one line, I use one line to do each thing. I don't have a lot of unnecessary lines in the picture. I meant to put this ear here, I forgot, but I can still fit it in there. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do our brow shapes. So what do we want? We're going to turn it up a little bit. So I want her eyebrow shapes to be like up here. Boom. Okay. So now I'm going to drop down here, and I'm going to bring the same eyebrow shape down here, but smaller. And then I'm going to wrap it around. And then I bring the eyes in here. And then I bring the eyes in here. You see? Then you got your eyebrows, lashes. Okay? This is how we do it. Okay? All right, now let's do our nose shape here. So we have, you know, let me think here. Yeah. Okay. Boom. Okay. 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 Now we're going to do this here. Okay. Right? And then we'll just go ahead and put our little shadows in the eyes here. Okay, let's go ahead and make these a little thicker now that we're done. Okay, and everything looks good there. You see how quickly that came out? Came out real quick, really accurate, really fast. Okay, again, relationships is all it's about. It's not about the eye. It's about where you're putting it, what you're looking for. Do you want this person to look mean? Do you want them to look happy? Do you want to look sad? And placement also even has something to do with that. Like people that have their eyes closer together tend to look a little bit more menacing, right? For like if you ever seen somebody, you ever seen your mom? You ever got in trouble with your mom? And when she come, she come in there, she look like this right here. Right? You know what I'm saying? Right? And she got her. Let me see. That's your mom right there. She's pissed. All right, let's see what else. Let me see. What you got on here, Mom? Let me see. Let's put a. Oh wow, these caricatures are coming out so good today. I'm on my A game today. All right, so watch this. I'm gonna do like this. Okay. So that's Mom right there. See? And if you look at it, you see she looked like she got it. She looked like she got attitude. You know what I'm saying? She done came up in here, she done told you to clean your room, right? And you just didn't do it. You get what I'm saying? So now she's like all pissed at you. All right? Yeah, these are her little shorts here. And her chanclas. Right? Okay. Anyway, I have fun drawing that. But you get what I'm saying? When you do eyes closer together, usually you're going to look more menacing, you know, or maybe your nose might look bigger. So if If you, there's all kind of stuff you just have to learn about this. There's little small little tricks that you got to know when you get in them situations. Or I don't care how well you draw, you ain't gonna get the likeness right. There's little stuff you just got to know. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and we'll just keep talking about this. This. Boom. Boom. What the heck? Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so let's go to our next phase here. All right, so what's the next thing that we can do? Drawing your features. Okay, so the next thing we got here, what did I write down here? Okay, the next thing, the number two reason why your person doesn't look like them is because you're missing on the head shape. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you what's crazy about this art, this form of art, right? Is that I'm finding that there's power almost in singularity, and you, I know you probably think of what does that mean? That means that using one shape as the basis for everything in your drawing. Now, you might think this is impossible, but I found out that it's not. Okay? What do I mean by that? I'm going to tell you one of the most powerful shapes I've ever seen in my life. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, that's not big enough. Let's use this guy. Okay, here we go. Can you guys see me? Dun, dun, dun. Right? And this is one of the most powerful shapes ever. Right? This little shape. This little shape right here. Okay? This is called Superman shape. Okay? So what is so powerful about Superman and shape, right? So let's go ahead and put this down. Well, I can use this. I'm just going to turn it upside down and right side up for you. I can use this as the basis for everything. Head shapes, lips, eyes, noses, mouths. Doesn't matter. Okay? Watch. You want a demonstration though. Now I'm not gonna give y'all all the game. But I'm gonna show you this. Watch this. Let's look at any face. Let's just take what about this guy? Here we go. Okay. So what I do is I take this shape, right? This shape, because his head is bigger at the bottom, I'm gonna use this one. Does that make sense? Okay. So what I'm gonna do here, hold up, let's put this. Oh no, okay. Hold up, let me get my glasses. I can't see a thing. I can't see a thing. All right, here we go. Are y'all ready to understand why Superman, the sign, is so powerful? Here we go. Watch. Okay, so I'm gonna put the point. Watch. I'm gonna do this, this, and I just soften the sides. Now watch. I put some hair on this bad boy. Watch. And some ears. And his eyebrows. and his nose. Watch, the nose is actually this sign right here. Watch. I forgot to show you that all of these are the sign, but watch, let me show you. Okay, watch. Let's do this. Let's go to the nose shape, and then we're going to see that the bottom is wider than the top, right? So that means that we want to use this shape here. Look at the Superman sign, and then put the nostrils inside of it. You see? See the Superman sign? It's there. And then when you go down to the lips, right? If you look at this, if I drew a mustache on the top of this Superman sign, right? That's what I'm doing here. Because the Superman sign even goes around the mouth like this. You see it? Because the lips are like Superman signs too. And if you look at this one, it's going to be like this. Look, this is the Superman sign. This is the top, side, bottom, right? And then this is I just flattened it. I made it shorter. See? And then what I do is I just take the lip and I put it in between there. You see? This is his lip. This is his eye. And this is the overside of the eyebrow. You see? So you see the shape of the face is automatically cartooned by the Superman shape. Right? Did y'all get that? All right. Let me see here. So let's keep working with that. Superman. Okay. What time is it? Is it 9:30? I don't even know what time I started 45 minutes ago. Wow, okay. So I got just a little bit longer here. I ain't gonna keep you guys long. All right, let's go to oh no, this face. Which way is her face pointing? That's the only thing you need to know. And then you just go with the you go with the flow. Watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Superman. Watch the ear shape right here, right? With this little thing on here. We can just flatten out the edge here, right? And then here you'll see that what we can do is this. Here, look. We can go I wonder. And then we'll just put hair almost wrapping around this shape. You see? You see? Here. And you got your earring coming out here over again, right? Got a neck coming from somewhere over here, right? Got this hair coming back here, right? Then you got boom, boom. You got this over here and over here. Right? Got this little thing right there, right? We're just doing some quick sketching, right? Some quick ones, right? And then we'll go with your boom and boom. And then I can use the Superman signs again if I want. I can do like this, right? And then I just come down here, boom, and do Superman, boom, boom, boom. And I come over here, watch. And I can go boom, because this is her, and then I go, so that's the bottom of or the base of it. I come out here, I do Superman, you know what I'm saying? And then I just put the eyes right in there, right? That's just another Superman sign. All of it's just, I just make things out of Superman signs, and then I just go with it. You see what I'm saying? Now we got our nose shape, right? We got the, so this is what we're gonna do. Again, look at the Superman sign. I don't have to think of anything. Then I can do the lips the same way, watch. And then I just do like this in the middle. You see, but I just blunt the ends of it off. And then I just put her little freckles in there. You know what I'm saying? Real easy. Okay. The Superman sign, again, is just the basis for the head shape, but it's an easy one for you to be able to grasp at first. you know. And then as you get better, you'll add stuff to that shape, but you'll still use the shape as it's like for instance, if you got a guy with a bunch of you got a chiseled face guy like Superman, right? And then you come up in here, you got a guy with a longer face, right? Maybe you might, and you got chiseled, you might want to add some of these in here. So now what happens is that changes the head shape so that he looks more like a Superman with a chiseled jawline, but the S is still in the middle. You get what I'm saying? I added something to that. Okay, so that might be a practice you can do. Just be like S, right? What else can that S turn into? I can go like here and go boom, boom, S. Number say I turned it into lips. You see, that's this. Or I turned it into eyes, right? That's this. Or I flipped it upside down and turned it into this type of eye, right? That's also this. You see what I'm saying? So it's everything is being ruled by one shape. Okay. So using one shape as the basis for everything in your drawing, or i.e. simplifying things, might be a reason why you are having trouble with your likenesses. Okay. Okay, now let me see here. What else did I have here? So we had the head shape is wrong. So people jump right into details, but the head shape is the foundation of the caricature. If the shape is wrong, nothing else will fix it. Okay? If the head shape is off, the whole drawing is off, even if the features look good. Even if the features look good, the drawing is not going to succeed. Okay? So let's go here. All right, got another face for you. All right, so what I'm going to do here is also talk about the last thing. This is the last little reason why your pictures may be coming off. And I think sometimes you just be afraid to push the one thing that makes you look like you, right? For instance, if you look at this picture right here, it's a lot of things that look like her, but I don't like to exaggerate too many things. So what I might think of here is I'm thinking of I think the smile, the way her eyes cut, and that smile, but also her head shape is so important here. So what I would be thinking of is I'm looking at where, if I'm drawing this, right? When I draw this, what I want to do. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. I messed up. Let me erase that. What was I doing? Okay. Again, what I want to do is I want to find my head shape here. So I'll make my forehead is usually the top part of the Superman, and then my bottom here is usually going to be the bottom side of the Superman. Okay, so this is again the sign here inside of that face. Okay, the shape of this sign is in there. Okay, and this is, if I turn it upside down, or is it right side up? Let me see. This way. Okay, you can see it has the point, then the two sides, and then the top. Right? It says S in the middle. Right? So we can just go just a little S in there like that. Okay, like this. Okay, so practice making these into things, and then look, all you do is you got your ear shape here, right at that point. Right, look at this hair going around to that point. You see, look at this neck coming off of that point. You see what I'm saying? Look at these eyebrows. Right, now let's go to our Superman sign. So I might do like this and make it real small. Okay, and then I just come over here. Okay, and then we just do like this. Okay, then we put our nose shape. Okay, and then we got our mouth shape, which is going to be like this. Watch this sign. Watch how I do this. Watch the top of the Superman sign. This is so if I look at this, I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I'm going to mark off the line as I'm doing it. So that's this line. Now I'm going to go here. 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 And then I'm just going to do this. Now watch the lips. You see? And then teeth. If I wanted to make them bigger, okay? You see what I'm saying? I made that a little bit bigger than I intended, and then you just kind of color in the part that you don't need. Okay? So you see how much more like alive that mouth looks than if you, hey, what's going on, Nickel Francis? How are you? Welcome to the stream this morning. It is 9:47. I have an event this morning, so that's why I streamed earlier. I have an event I have to go to here in just a little bit. So we're going to I'm going to actually be shutting down here in just a little bit. Okay. Okay. And you can add bends and stuff, but I usually put that shape down as the basis of the cartoon, and then from there I just kind of go with it. You know what I mean? Okay. So yeah. Okay, then we got one last one here, guys. I'm gonna do one more drawing here, and then I'm gonna do a quick word of the day, and then we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Okay, I think you guys had enough lesson for today. All right, and I definitely had a lot of practice for today. I feel like I learned a lot from my Superman piggy. Right, y'all like my Superman piggy? Right. All right, let's see here. Oh yeah, the likenesses, the likenesses. All right. So remember that last rule of thumb, right? Okay. And what were we talking about there? We were talking about how how you're afraid to push. Don't be afraid to push the feature you think defines your subject. So don't be afraid to push the envelope on that, okay? Boom. That's a rule of thumb right there. Okay? All right, so let me do this again for you. Doesn't matter. We got the Superman sign. We're gonna go one, boom, two, boom, right? And then we're gonna go down, right? Boom, and then we're gonna go up, and we're gonna go over. Once we put that on the page, okay, then we can add things like a jaw here or a little jaw over here. You see, this shape makes it easy to find your face. Find the face. Now look at them. Look at this. See this? We got this, and then look. Once we got this, then we know well our hat's coming over here, coming back to this spot right here, coming back over. You can use the spots on it to help you with your hats, right? I know where things go in relation to that. I've been drawing using this technique so long. I know where everything goes in relation to this sign. So that's why it kind of almost looks a little effortless, right, for me to do this because it is. I don't have to think at all when I do this because it's not. Let me see. So we just want to follow the same energy of the eye. See how the eye went up there? We found the same energy. So it's not about again getting everything perfect, right? But what it is about is learning how to use that imagination. Okay? You see? Now we got this. Remember what we said, the Superman sign. This is the top of it here. So if you see a mustache, you already know that's the top, right? Now we already know that this right here is the bottom of the top lip. This is the bottom. This is the bottom of the bottom lip, and then we'll just put his little round little chin right inside of the circle. See how that goes right inside of there? Or it doesn't have to. You know what? I think I think we don't even have to do that. We can just, well, I guess just a little bit like that. I just wanted to make it a little bit bigger. And then here we'll just go ahead and put our glasses, right? So we can see our glasses come down here, and they almost kind of sit right on that Superman sign right there, right in that middle part. And then here you'll see the space between his eyes, and then you can see over here that he's just kind of staring at the camera, right? So this is how we would do that, right? Then we got your hair on the side over here, and some hair on the side. Okay. All right. Hey, thank you, Playtime. I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you for coming out. Yeah. Okay. So again, we're just practicing. Not don't be afraid to push that feature. Now with this guy, let's say I want to push a feature. Let me sharpen my pencil here. Okay. There's different techniques to doing the head shape. This is just one of many that I understand how to do. I like this one a lot, but there's some other ones that I favor as well. Again, if you guys want to take a class with me, you can take a class with me at rouserworld.com/classes. Go to our website. You can sign up for a class, and then we do all of our classes through Zoom, so we'll have a little one-on-one, and we'll get you guys taken care of. We can go more in depth. All right. The next thing is about our Patreon page. If you guys want to support us on Patreon page, we have videos where we go more in depth on the information that I'm giving you today, as well as some behind the scenes footage so that you can kind of connect with me a little bit more and see what it's like to be a 53-year-old caricature artist with a 2-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 14-year-old, and a 30-year-old all at the same time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I got a wife that's 10 years younger than me. Can you say Superman? Boom, superhero landing, right? I was messing with you. And finally, guys, tips are important, or I appreciate it, excuse me. They are important as well. But if you guys feel like you benefited from the lessons or tips I showed you today, you'd like to tip, man, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and get it back into it. I was going to make a point before I go into my word of the day about pushing the envelope. So here I really didn't push anything. But when you understand what you can do, you can push things. So let's say I want to do, let's say with him, you know what really makes, I could do something like this. Watch. Let's just show you. Watch. So I'm going to do his eyebrows. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop down here with the eyes. As long as I'm following the energy of these eyebrows, I know I can't get it wrong. You know what I mean? And then I just do something like this. Wait, let me see how I want to push this. Then what I'm going to do, okay, and then let me see. I don't know. Let me see if I want to do something here. Right, and then let me see here. Maybe, maybe when I get down here, maybe his face just all melts into a stream of maybe he's melting. Right, look, his fingers are here, and he's melting all over, melting. Okay, you just got to use your imagination, right? You see, he's melting, and then up here, what's he do? Then the same thing happens here. I'm gonna say, and then I might do like this, and come around here, wrap around it. I might come back here, right? And then let's just say he's right, and then look, and maybe over here, um, his body has already melted all over the place. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So we're just doing something. Okay. And then we might be like, his little, So we made up a little theme here, a little theme. Everything's hot and steamy, and you know what I'm saying. And then what we'll do here, we'll just come in and we'll start just bringing this in. Okay, you see what I'm saying? So we can make some stuff melt, right? Yeah, he's like, you know what I'm saying? Right? It's sunny outside, right? Mm, you know? You know what I'm saying? So you might send him a cartoon like this. You know what I'm saying? See how we push you see how we push the envelope on things? We don't need to actually we don't have to be like this all the time. This is like very formal. I mean sometimes I'll do stuff like that. If somebody asks me to do something, I mean we can push the envelope. This guy right here, come on, you gotta push the envelope on this guy. You know what I'm saying? What could he be? He could be let me see. You know what? I don't know. This is something what do I see here? Oh, look. This is what I'll do here. Watch. You see. So I'm gonna push the envelope on this. Let me see what I'm gonna do here. He looked like Jimi Hendrix to me. Right? Watch this. Hmm. How do I do? Oh. I don't even know what I'm. Let me see. Oh yeah. Oh wait. This is like a little, like a little power line, right? And it's going off in that direction there, so it should get smaller as it goes off into the distance, right? And then maybe he's like, right? And then we got these. Look, these is eyebrows. Okay. Right, and then we just color this in here, right? Right. Let me see here. Hold up. I got you. Hold on. My bad. Hold on. And then we just kind of add some little hairs here to insinuate somebody got shocked. Okay. You see? So we can do something And then look, he got his eyebrows going down like this, so I could bring them down here, right? You know, he has a big head, little body now, right? Okay, let me see. What's that question we got here? Hold on. Okay. Okay. If a reference has glasses, should we draw the glasses first? Not every time. No. That's really kind of a. Let me. I think the best way to do that is depends on whether you have black glasses or clear glasses, or you know what I mean. Because then if you can see lines underneath it through there, what I'll do here. Let me find. Let me go here, and we'll look up. Let's find. Okay, glasses frames. All right, so let's look at. I don't know. Let's find somebody, please. That's nice and forward facing for you. Okay, let's go with. What about this guy? Okay. Now this is guy. I like those glasses. Let me see. All right, let me open that up real quick. All right. Okay. So if you're drawing this picture right here, with these glasses for sure, definitely. So this is what I would do. What I would do is I would do this. Okay. I would draw in this situation. I would draw the nose, the bridge of the nose first, right? Like that. And then I'll put my glasses in. Yes. Okay. Just like that. This is the first thing. And then I come here and bring my glasses down, bring this down. I turn up the eyebrows just a little bit. I wouldn't follow the reference like that. And then I come in here and I'll do this. Like that. And you got your eyes going over there like this. See what I'm saying? Then you got this shape here. Right? Boom. Boom. Right. Then you got let me see. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do this. We'll do alright. Yeah. Put the lip right here. Lip down here. Big shapes. Okay. Big shapes. Like that. Big glasses. Ear shape. Head shape. Go back. Boom. Come around. This. Come around. That. And then we'll just kind of come up here. Go down. Stay low. Come around. Back. With your fade. And your neck. This. Okay. Hey, no problem, KD07. That's what's going on. I'm glad I could help you out. Okay, and then you just kind of color in these pieces here. Again, don't forget, guys, to if you want to take a class or whatever, I do offer the one-on-one classes, so you can check those out. You can do classes together, right? Yeah. So you want to? I guess the easy answer to your question is yes. You want to draw the glasses first if there's a situation where you can see lines through the glasses, right? Because sometimes I'll draw the head shape, you know what I'm saying, like that, okay, and then I'll just go ahead and just throw them in there like this, and then I'll put my shape and then my smile. You know what I'm saying? So either way, it can go like that, or if you start from the other way, you can put the glasses first and just know where you're at on the head shape, and you can do any head either way you want to do it. You know what I'm saying? You know, just like that. You see? Boom, 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 like that. You know what I'm saying? We got a bunch of different little people down there. Okay, so now, guys, what I'm going to do here is we're going to start getting ready for the word of the day because it's getting close to time for me to be preparing for an event. So if you guys will give me just a second, I will be right back. Give me a sec. Okay, guys, welcome back. Welcome back. So we're going to go ahead, guys, and get in to our word of the day. So if you have your Bibles handy, go ahead and get your Bible out, and then we'll go ahead and take off here. I like to leave a paper here just in case we need to take some notes, and then let's go ahead and get started. Again, my name is Harry. Nice to meet you. We are done with the drawing segment of the stream for today. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about, we're going to do our word of the day. Okay. And our word of the day is kind of why our, or why, excuse me, our drawings of, hold on, life don't come out accurate, which is kind of the same thing we were talking about today. Okay, we were talking about why your drawings seem off, why you can't get your likeness right, right, and all that kind of stuff. So what I do with drawing is this: I don't just draw; I look at drawing to actually teach about life. You know what I mean? The omnipresence of God is the omnipresence of God. That means his way of doing things is everywhere, and we can learn a lot about everything by studying a small thing. If you remember earlier today, I told you about the one ring that rules them all, or the one shape of the head that rules them all. This idea of one shape that you can use to draw every single thing in the face. And it is true. You find what you want to do a lot of the times is find the perspective at which you're going to gaze at the world, and then interpret the world through that perspective. You understand what I'm saying? That's just really kind of how life works, okay? And so what messes us up a lot of the times is when we choose the wrong perspective, or we do some of the things that we talked about in the stream today, okay? So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to open up to the book of Samuel. Okay, if you guys are in the book of Samuel, that's in the Old Testament. If we go to Samuel 1 and we go to Samuel 16 and 7, it says right here, right? It says, "But the Lord said to Samuel, don't judge by his appearance or his height, for I have rejected him." It says, "The Lord doesn't see things the way you see them. People judge by the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart." Okay, so when we're drawing a face, what we tend to do, and how does this relate to artwork? But when we're drawing a face, what we tend to do is we start focusing on individual features. I'm just going to put them all over the page. Okay. Okay. So these might be the eyes. This is the nose, right? And then you got your eyebrows here, right, or whatever. Then you got your mouth shape here, right? And then you got your head shape here, right? Then you got your hair shape here. So these things are all just on the page. Just pretend that we just put them all on the page, right? Okay, so we focus on these individual features, but the thing is that what really matters about these features are not the features themselves, but rather how these features relate to each other. Okay? So in art, relationships, spacing, angles, all of these things create likeness. So in our life, a lot of the times what we have is we have mom, we have kids, we have a job, we have our friends, we have all these individual pieces, but what we don't know is how to make a relationship not only between these things, but also the relationship that's happening within those things. But we're not concerned with taking them and putting them in a way that causes us to get the accurate effect of our life. Let me show you this. Okay, so let's just say we did all this and then we put the hair. I'm just using it as an example. Okay, but down here I might be able to take these same shapes depending on the perspective I've chosen, and I can use the same exact shapes, right? But now what I'm doing is I'm changing relationships between them, and I'm causing another outcome to happen because I've changed the relationships between those features. Does that make sense? All right. So this is what's going on in our life a lot of the times. We're starting off only thinking about this, right? And not thinking about this or the relationships or how we want to place them. We're only concerned with having a perfect. So when we're at marriage, we're concerned about the perfect marriage. When we're with our friends, we're concerned about the perfect friend or the perfect thing to say or this, right? Or the perfect place to be and all this kind of things. But we never think about the totality of our life and how big or small certain things need to be in our life. Because let's just say this is your wife down here. This would represent the mouth. Okay, this is the nose. Let's say these are your kids. Well, the eyes are very small. That means they're insignificant. They're less significant in the kids and the wife. Does that make sense? So you have to think about this in the face. You have to say that this person looks like this, but this is less significant. The reason that it looks like the most powerful thing on the face is this. Then the next thing is this. And then the next thing is this. And then finally, this doesn't even matter. So I'm not going to even give him a bottom lip because he almost doesn't have one. And that within itself is an exaggeration. But what we're doing, again, is we're establishing what our life is going to actually like, right? Given all of these things that we have here. So what we do in life is we try to put a lot of things and be able to draw a lot of things individually, but we can't relationally put them together. So our life winds up in shambles. Okay, so don't just draw the eye of the face. Focus on where that eye lives at. Where does the eye live within this head structure? Where is it? Okay, what's the relationship? Just like God looks deeper into the surface of things, we have to look deeper into isolated things. Okay, we have to look deeper into the isolated things. Okay. Now, the second thing that we're going to do, the second point that I want to make to you is, while our drawings of life don't come out accurate, it's because they don't focus on foundation first. The foundation of a caricature is a head shape. Okay, and it says focus on the foundation first. In the book of Matthew, if you'll go there with me, Matthew, we're going to go to Matthew 7 and 24. Okay, and in 7:24, what it says is a wise man. Oh, let me get there. 7:24. Oh, I'm on 7:24. Excuse me. I'm going 24/7. 7:24. Here we go. We should be right around here somewhere. Okay, 7:24. A wise man or woman, right, builds his house on the rock. Okay? A strong foundation determines everything. Now, today, I use Superman because it just doesn't get any stronger than that, right? I use Superman to teach you this theory, okay? That the foundation, you can use one shape, right? You pick out this shape and you learn how to draw or get anywhere from this perspective. So let's just say I use this Superman shape. Okay, in fact, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use one of these because I think this might come out a little bit better. Okay. Okay, so this is the Superman shape. Okay, so once we draw the Superman shape, all right, think about this. When you draw a face, right, you have your ears, right? You have your hair, right? If they have a chiseled jawline, we might add a chisel out here. You get it? If they don't, if they have a round face, then maybe we might add round out here. If they have a crew cut, maybe we might add a crew cut. And then I consider my relationships and my features here. You understand what I mean? I can get to any face I want to from one perspective. God wants us to, he says, put no other God before me. What do you think he's trying to tell us? I want you to look at the world from one perspective, right? And be able to get anywhere from this perspective in the world. Wherever you want to go, he says, my word is omnipresent and never returns void. That means my word, your perspective, God's perspective, can get you and take you to places that you never even thought about. And you know why? It says because God takes the foolish things, the things that the world finds foolish, and takes those things that confound the wise. I think that you guys were just confounded by what I just showed you. Right? If you're wise, right, you might be thinking, I can draw so well. I'm a good drawer. I'm the best. But I never say that because then simple concepts like this can change your life and change how easy you do things. So a strong foundation determines everything. In caricature, the head shape sets the structure. And details adding good eyes and noses and all that won't fix a weak foundation. Okay? So how does this relate to us in practical, everyday terms? What that means is that if your life is built upon anything other than the word of God, the word of truth, the way things are supposed to go, right? No matter how much you help old ladies cross the street, right? You still won't be able to sort this mess out. You still won't be able to earn your way into heaven. You can't do like enough good things to get that. You can't do enough good things to receive the blessings. You, in order to receive the blessings now, let's not wait till we get to heaven. Let's experience a part of heaven now. Let's live the way God tells us to live now, and let Him show us the perspective we need to take. A lot of the times we're scared only because, just like in drawing, is because when we sit down at the drawing board, we have too many options in our head. That's what causes fear when you draw a caricature. You have all these options. But if you sit down and say, okay, how easy is it to know where to start, take a trip when you know where you're starting from and you know where you want to go to? You understand what I'm saying? You know that I'm going to start at my house. I know I'm going to start with this shape, and then I'm going to look at that head or that person or this object or whatever it is I'm drawing, and then I'm going to add to it. So it's no different. And this is how you draw everything. If you're drawing a car, cars start out with a simple shape, and then maybe somebody might say, well, maybe I want to add this shape to the front. You know what? Let's add this shape here. Let's add, you know what? Let's add this shape here. Let's make us a formula. You know what I'm saying? Let's add this shape here, right? Let's add another shape to that shape, right? Let's add another shape to that shape. You get what I'm saying? Let's add another shape to that shape. You see, let's add another shape to that shape. I'm just adding to a shape. I'm able to get wherever I want, right, from a simple shape. So if I get the shape right, the drawing is already basically halfway there, okay? If your foundation is solid, that means that everything that you build on top of it will be stronger. Okay, so uh, foundations. Your life doesn't look the way it is, the way it wants you, the way you like it to go. You're struggling with some things. It may be that you have foundation issues. You might need to get the foundation fixed. Okay. All right. Now the last thing. Why? Why does the drawing of my life not coming out like I want it to come out? Right. That's what we're talking about. And I wrote here, and this comes from the book of Philippians, and I'm trying to get you guys out of here. This is in Philippians 3:13. It says, focus on one thing and do it well. I think I already said that though, right? Focus on one thing and do it well. In the face, don't try to exaggerate everything. In your life, don't try to make everything number one. Listen, if you got a head shape, right, you can't make the eyes big, the nose big, the mouth big, the eyebrows big, right, ears big. You know what I'm saying? That's not a caricature. That is a distortion of reality, right? You get what I'm saying? Because think about it in real life. If you made a big deal out of everything, right? You know what I'm saying? Your life would be distorted, right? People that talk to you would be like, man, you are not like with us today, are you? You understand what I'm saying? So don't try in your life to exaggerate everything just as what you would not do in a caricature. A strong caricature comes from a good idea based upon something, right? Focus on one thing and do it well. So a good caricature comes from a clear or one clear idea of what you want to do. So again, wherever you want to start your face from, you don't have to use a Superman sign like I did. You could use a rectangle, you can use a circle, and you can add parts to the circle. You get what I'm saying? It's all about how you want to get there. How do you see the world? Okay? And last but not least with that one, clarity in this situation always beats complexity. So always don't think you have to do a lot in your picture because you see a lot of people doing all these things in their caricature. One time I saw a caricature artist doing, he used to do a lot of like comic book stuff in his caricatures, all these elaborate like kung fu scenes with just all this stuff. And I was like, man, I want to be over there with him. And then I thought to and later on, it was my wife was like talking. She's like, "Why are you changing your style? I like the way you do it. Let him do it that way. You do it this way, okay? Because there's a market for him and there's a market for you. But if you're trying to be on every page, okay, keep it clear, keep it clear, keep it clear, because that beats the complexity of things. If everything is exaggerated in your picture, nothing will stand out. Does that make sense? In your life, if everything is exaggerated, okay, nothing will stand out. In your marriage, if you exaggerate every disagreement, if you exaggerate everything that somebody does wrong, right, nothing can stand out. You'll have no place to say, well, you know what, this is what's actually working over here. There'll be no standout thing. This is a real representation of what we want. Yeah, we did this, but look at all this other great, look at this great thing. Look at the point of this whole situation. So progress basically comes from when you lock in on one direction and you move with purpose. Okay? Find your starting point. Know how to get there from that starting point. Find the Word of God and use it. It has something in there to deal with every situation that deals with life. In closing, guys, I want to encourage you to let your life be single and your whole body be full of light. Let your eye be single, right? And let your whole body be full of light. Let the creativity flow. Let me put it like this for you. Creativity isn't when you have everything at your disposal and then you use it. Creativity is when you have very little at your disposal and you create something based off of a limited amount of resources. That's when you show me how creative you are. When I tell you, hey, I want you to draw a guy only using circles, or I want you to draw a car only using circles, and you say, well, you know what, I'm going to try it, and you start thinking, how can I do that? And then you just do it. You know what I mean? And you're using only circles. You see what I'm saying? You see that? So that's creativity. Creativity is using what you have to get the job done. Focus isn't about more. It's about basically, guys, what matters the most. So focus on that. So, guys, that's our word of the day. Why our drawings of our life don't come out accurate, don't come out the way we want them. Okay? And we talked about why that happened. We talked about because of the relationships. It's about relationships and not just features. We talked about the foundation that you build a caricature on. And then we also talked about focusing on one thing and doing that one thing well. If you do those things, not only will your caricatures come out better, but your life will come out better. Okay? You'll be able to draw that picture for your life that you actually want to see and be a part of and engaged. So, guys, thank you so much for coming out. I appreciate you coming. If you want to take a class with me, I'm just going to go ahead and pause my music real quick here. I do have one-on-one classes, so you can take those classes at Rowserworld.com/classes. I'd like to meet you and teach you all about caricature, right? All right. Oh, you missed a while of a lesson. Oh, that's okay, Austin. That's okay. I got an event here in just a bit, so I'm trying to get out of here. Okay, then we have our tips. Tips are appreciated, guys. If you feel like you benefited from the stream, tips are awesome. And then finally, guys, don't forget to support us on Patreon. This is our fan support page. All the tips and concepts that I showed you today, I go over in depth on my Patreon page. So go over, join a tier, support us while you're doing it, and get access to that information so that you can step up your caricature game. Okay, guys? So you guys be blessed. Y'all have an awesome Saturday, and I'll see you guys next time.